Let's see. Oh boy, I'm so excited for Warlock. I'm so glad that they didn't capitulate to all those people saying that, you can't like embrace evil and stuff. Like that's it goes against the whole vibe of Sanctuary. I never played the first one and second one. Uh wasn't in the third one, weren't we like half demon? Weren't we like a Nathrazim? And then or what the fuck are those called? Nephilim? And then in this one, we've literally drank in the blood a little. That's like the first thing we've done, and we've been fine the entire time. So glad though. Let's do it.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Season 12 Developer Update stream and the Warlock Deep Dive. My name is Marcus Kretz. I'm a community manager here at Blizzard Entertainment, and we've got a jam-packed show for you today. But first things first, Twitch drops are live. Watch any eligible channel on the Diablo 4 category, and you can grab this Omen's Glimpse Wand Cosmetic for 30 minutes. And if you watch for 1 hour, you can earn the Siphon of Malefaction Scythe Cosmetic. Now we've got a lot to share today as we dive into the makeup, development, and skills of the Warlock class. And then on the second half of the stream, we're going to be talking about everything coming with our upcoming season launching on March 11th. Very, very exciting. But I want to recap to everyone, we do have the Lord of Hatred expansion arriving on April 28th.
Yay.
Everything coming there. We've got this handy infographic. Lord of Hatred brings an epic new campaign. We'll have 2 new classes with the Paladin and the Warlock. There's going to be a whole new region with Skobos. There's going to be massive system overhauls and an expanded endgame. So there's a ton to check out there on April 28th when Lord of Hatred arrives. But without any further ado, we have a fantastic video to share with you that goes over everything coming with this dark class.
Yes, dark class. Finally get some diversity in Diablo classes.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for the official Warlock Deep Dive. We're excited to get into the details, including some backstory, their visual and archetype design, and mechanics.
This is some DEI I can get behind.
Hey everyone, I'm JP Rymiller, Associate Art Director for Diablo 4, and I'm really excited to be here sharing more about the Warlock, its story, and the visual design that brings it to life. When we started talking about the Warlock, the very first thing we aligned on was that this character stands fully unleashed at the height of their strength. Warlock is not a clean hero, not someone who's throwing fireballs from a safe distance and walking away spotless, but rather a dark caster who's made a very conscious decision to use demons as tools. The Warlock emerges from the shadows as a practitioner of forbidden arts, shaped by the dark legacy of the Vizrai, haunted by demons, burdened with infernal insight, and feared by pretty much everyone. They have a presence about them that takes over the room. They've been through so much and have so much power that you both want to run with them and are scared of them. They've come from a really corrupt history. They've seen hell up close, and because of that, the way they summon demons isn't elegant or ceremonial. It's violent.
As it should be.
They're ripping something out of hell against its will and forcing it into sanctuary. You don't always know what you might get, and that struggle between this dark evil and the hero you are is core to the fantasy.
Take notes, wizards.
What I love about the Warlock is that they sit right on that line between hero and something a little more dangerous. They're trying to save Sanctuary, but they're willing to do things that no one else will. There's no regret about collateral damage. It's very much, I don't have a choice. This has to be done. And we wanted that to come through not just in the spells, but in how they move, how they stand, how they occupy space.
1 second.
That idea. When we were figuring out the visual direction for the Warlock, we knew pretty early on
Heavy
we
metal.
wanted them to feel like a traditional fantasy caster. No flowing robes, no pristine silhouettes, no fancy elegance. The touchstones we kept coming back to were rebellion and metal. That feeling of someone who's been through hell, literally, and came back changed by it. Visually, we wanted the Warlock to feel intimidating. To be honest, a lot of that inspiration comes from metal music culture. It's loud and aggressive, and that idea translated really naturally into how the Warlock moves, how they cast, how they carry themselves. This is someone who's walked the edge for a long time. Like if someone microdosed soul shards until they found the right amount. So we leaned into the color vibe of working in a machine shop and having the oil and dirt on you.
Okay.
Grit in the materials, texture in the surfaces, and weight in the way everything hangs off the body.
The blue collar
Nothing feels
class.
ornamental for ornament's sake. They're not trying to look heroic. They look the way they do because
Salt of
that's
the
what
earth
survival
class.
hell does to you. Everything visually is there to support that story. Layered atop this is a visual design where strong demonic colors of VFX intertwine with physical motion that sets the stage for their lore as a caster, who bends demons and infernal forces to their will, giving the class an otherworldly presence. There's a unique aspect to how we crafted this hero. Character art was a huge part of this class from the beginning. With so many assets needed to be created for the demons, we had to work closely as a feature team to pair all the visual elements of VFX, animation, and character art to help make the demons feel a part of the class in a way that succinctly flowed through the Warlock's visual design. With a balanced approach to animation and VFX, the demonology, shadow, and fire bring that raw, unfiltered power to life in the Warlock.
Okay.
Every moment is deliberate, heavy, and echoes the physical toll of wielding hell's energy. When you cast, you're forcing something into existence, and the visuals match that intensity. Our effects team went all in to make Warlock feel unique, with a strong identity rooted in danger. Summoning demons is an eruption of hell-forged energy, fire, and twisted light. We wanted the VFX to accentuate the animation with a focus on feel and movement. That's why when you see the skills, they are crafted with aggressive shapes and relentless motion. Whether it's tearing open a portal or binding a demon, you always get a sense of chaos barely held in check, and the battlefield transforms with every cast.
Awesome.
Warlock is a willpower-based class, focused on dominating the battlefield. They use two different resources, Wrath to bring chaotic destruction, and Dominance to summon powerful demons. To
Damn.
define the Warlock as a class, we focus on what it will empower players to do, and how they will interact with the world. First, you create. You're constantly bringing things into the world. Demons, demon parts, manifestations of hell. For example, you might command Fallen to path through the environment. Or you might block off areas with Wall of Agony, actively shaping the battlefield with your summoned creations.
Imagine being that
Then you
demon.
control.
You
A lot
get
of this
summoned.
process comes from deciding where those demons go, how long they stay alive, and what
With like
shape
10 demon bros, you're like, what the fuck is happening? Oh shit. And you just start swinging your cleaver.
This is where Warlock is really able to flex its willpower and feel a sense of deliberate domination. You could order the Tortured Wretch to taunt foes into reckless attacks, or direct the Profane Sentinel to blast your chosen target. Every action is an announcement of your authority over the chaos you've summoned. And finally, you combo. Almost nothing exists in isolation. You're encouraged to chain interactions, summon something, modify it, consume it, detonate it, or use it to empower the next action. The system rewards you for thinking a step ahead. Kill both enemies and demons swiftly with bombardment, fueling Sigil of Summons to unleash the next wave of demons.
Okay, so is it going to be like a combo thing?
Is that these layers feed into each other. Creating gives you options. Control lets you shape those options, and comboing turns them into a payoff. So the Warlock isn't just executing a single fixed rotation. It's about building a small ecosystem in combat, and then deciding how aggressively or how cleverly you want to collapse it. The core idea behind Soul Shards is really about transformation, saying, I'm not just summoning demons anymore, I'm actually incorporating hell into myself.
Okay.
With the Soul Shard system, you fuse a demon straight into your body. Picking a Soul Shard is the rulebook for everything you do in-game, shaping your powers and how you play from the ground up. You choose from 4 primary shards.
Okay.
Each shard represents a fundamentally different playstyle direction, mutating your character by stealing powers from hell and your bound demon. Each primary shard does 2 major things. First, it grants a transformative playstyle passive that alters your core gameplay loop. How you summon demons, how you control them, and how you chain effects together. Second, it binds a specific demon pet to you, directly tied to the shard's identity.
Okay.
Within each primary shard, you then select one of 3 fragment sub-options.
Okay.
These act as specialization layers. They don't change what the shard is, but they absolutely change how it behaves, what you prioritize, what resources you lean on, and how your abilities interact. The result is that the shards open up new and unique transformative options for how you interact with the world and your demons.
Okay,
When you
interesting.
see Warlock in action, you can tell what they chose, not because of a tooltip, but because of how their gameplay unfolds. One of the big pillars of the Warlock is that although you're a summoner of hell, these entities are not behaving like conventional pets. Most summons are temporary. Warlocks brutally discard them once they have served their purpose.
As you should.
But with a soul shard, you choose to persistently bind one of 4 powerful demons to supercharge your playthrough.
Also, as you should.
With Legion, the focus is on biological demon generation. This demon specializes in spawning physical demonic bodies into the world. Mechanically, that gives you more entities to control, reposition, and chain together, which supports builds that scale through volume and chaotic pressure. Here you have the demon Agram, who embodies this chaotic approach. Using its spit command, Agram can unleash corrosive projectiles across
Yeah,
the
spit on them, Agrin.
burst into smaller demons on impact. As you command Agram and other lesser demons, their deaths fuel your power to summon greater demons. Every spawned lesser demon serves as a resource, amplifying your summoning potential and enabling more dramatic, high-impact plays. The system encourages you to continuously generate, sacrifice, and leverage these demonic minions, creating a feedback loop where the chaos you unleash becomes the fuel for even more formidable monsters to join your group.
They haven't really explained how chaos or dominance like
Vanguard
work
shifts
together
the
though.
system towards mobility and frontline presence. The fiery steed Abodian functions as an aggressive, speedy means of
More like
closing
Brodian.
It's designed for players who want to push forward, create openings, and apply pressure through motion. With Abodian's charge, the Warlock surges across the battlefield in a blaze of hellfire, pulling foes along and instantly repositioning for the next attack. Mastermind moves things in a more control-oriented direction. The devouring shadow demon Lalish undermines your enemies and attacks on your command. It favors players who enjoy planning ahead and creating layered outcomes. Executing Lalish's Terror Realm consumes foes while cloaking the Warlock in Shadow Form, allowing you to remain hidden while issuing direct commands to your
Ooh,
focused
shit.
demons.
Stealth?
This devastating maneuver lets you orchestrate surprise assaults, manipulating enemy placement and inflicting terror.
Oh
The
shit.
synergy between Shadow Form and Abyss Demon control turns the battlefield into your personal chessboard. Ritualist is deliberately different. This demon exists primarily as a sacrificial resource. You're siphoning power from it to generate bursts of strength, trading an offensive pet for spikes in your damage and efficiency.
Good.
When you channel the might of Valak, you're tapping into a wellspring of forbidden magic. By draining Valak's essence,
Oh,
unleash
okay.
empowered spell combos, like trapping enemies in shadowy confinement with Dark Prison before detonating the battlefield with Hell Fractures. Valak's unique bond supercharges your occult Hellfire and Abyss abilities, making every cast more devastating and allowing your Warlock to bend the materials of Hell to their will in moments of explosive power. Hopefully you can see how picking your bound demon is more than just window dressing. It's the linchpin that turns every fight into your personal stage.
What sets the Warlock apart is the sheer freedom you have to define your power. There are countless ways to customize your skills, and every level unlocks new options that let you reshape your build on the fly. Many of the Warlock's most iconic abilities don't just have a single expression. They can be radically reshaped through variants that change how the power manifests in combat. Each variant pushes the ability in a distinct direction, letting you lean into overwhelming chaos, precise command, or personal dominance. Whether you're amplifying demonic force, directing it with intent, or consuming it to become the weapon yourself, these variants ensure that every major summon reflects your chosen playstyle and reinforces how you want your Warlock to engage in the battlefield. Let's
Brutally.
dive right into the Warlock skill variants. Rampage. You unleash a rampaging demon brute onto the battlefield, a living engine of chaos that smashes through anything unlucky enough to stand in its way.
Okay.
Abyssal Titan. The demon brute becomes an abyssal titan.
Wait,
larger
these
and
ultimate
imbued with the
skills?
shadows of hell. You may directly order this brute to perform devastating leap attacks. Demonic Smash. You consume the brute's power, gaining demon form and allowing you yourself to jump into the battlefield.
Okay.
Sigil of Summons. Perform occult rituals to summon additional demons. Customize how you perform this ritual and what comes out. Summon Succubus.
Ah.
Summon 2 greater succubi that inflict terrible, terrible shadow damage.
That's the
Summon
Gunner
Hellworm.
spell.
Summon a Hellworm that mimics your own demon summoning even more demons. Fiend of Abaddon. You summon a towering demon juggernaut.
Holy shit.
wielding a massive
Sasuke!
sword that cleaves through the battlefield in unstoppable arcs of destruction. Abyssal Colossus. You may now order the Fiend to perform an enormous 2-fisted smash that pulls in enemies. Vanguard of Flames. This Fiend is now bound directly to you, moving with you.
It actually
and
is
allowing you
Susanoo!
to charge your
Sasuke!
battlefield. This is especially cool with the Rampage Demonic Smash variant, since you can leap yourself with this Fiend attached to you. We're so excited for all of you to shape your Warlock playstyle with your own devastating abilities and unique variants. The options are as dynamic as they are powerful. Dive deep and discover the combinations that unleash your true potential. That wraps up our Warlock deep dive for now. Thank you to our incredible community for your
That seems
ongoing
super
passion and
low,
enthusiasm.
but okay.
Your excitement and feedback have helped shape every step of our journey, and we can't wait to see how you make the Warlock's power your own.
There you have it, the Warlock. Hot.
Oh!
That looks amazing. And who better to get into everything than Colin and Bjorn? Welcome back to the stream.
Awesome. Thanks.
Hell yeah. So first things first, I gotta ask you guys, why the Warlock?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So, Lord of Hatred as an expansion has this core theme of sort of heaven versus hell. Also, this sort of duality of old versus new. There's going to be a lot of returning things that you're going to see from older games, like some of the monsters you might have seen, as well as like new things like the Warlock. So, we felt like when we wanted to sort of deliver 2 classes in this expansion, we felt what better way to sort of embody this idea than like the Holy Paladin who walks the light. Very straightforward, very good, very simple. I just want to blast demons with holy energy. And then we wanted that sort of contrast with the Warlock, who's sort of this edgelord, brutal demonologist, uses hell's power, draws on demons from the burning hells. So we felt like that really just sort of, that contrast set each other apart, like these classes in a really cool way. And I think, from the class design side, Bjorn, you designed the class. I think when we looked at it, what were some of the
Good job,
things we were
Bjorn.
looking for in terms of like carving out a new place in our roster? This is our 8th class now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When we're looking at kind of what classes can do, we're taking into account like each of their different play styles. And so with the Warlock, what we're really kind of honed in on was the ideas of like different sort of like summon-based gameplay that we hadn't explored as deeply yet. So with the Warlock, for instance, it's less about kind of the other things that you've seen before, maybe of like having like large standing armies that are constantly fighting for you. And instead it's kind of exploring, for instance, like temporary summons that you're going to kill off, or having like one big summon that you're like really completely in control of, while also sort of exploring how that affects the Warlock when they're doing that, like how they're affected by the shadows or how they take on the form of demon form.
Yeah, like I loved it in the video how like the Warlock is not standing at the back. Like they're right in there flinging demons, like a little meat trebuchets. Like it's pretty awesome to see. And I mean, yeah, there's so much to chew on with the class. Like what are you both most excited for players to get into?
Yeah, I think one thing on that, because I love what you said about the Warlock being in the front, something we